But you never know that you could. And when you feel that way, ain't it good, good dancing in the red and gold. Dancing in the red and gold.
This is the 49er Faithful UK show. We are live, and that was Super Wildcard Weekend. It was super, it was wild, and the Niners head home from Philly with a 23-19 win. One bird plucked and cooked, and another on the menu next weekend. If only those damn injuries would stop. I'm Gareth Ellis, and the gravelly voices you'll hear this evening belong to Mr. Paul Hope.
Our voices in Leeds, but I told you we were going to win. Yes, victory Monday.
Lee Gowland.
Yeah, I tell you what, your voice is not too bad compared with mine.
Yeah, yours is the worst.
And Najee Kawar.
Hello, everyone. My voice is actually good because I am smart and clever. I've taken loads of Jackmans and then loads of tea today.
I'm smart and clever.
You must have heard that last night from someone well refreshed, I imagine. You had a good night then, boys.
Oh, it was
brilliant.
incredible.
We'll talk about it
was
later. But
yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic then. So, a little bit of a game to talk about, haven't we? Where should we start? Have you got some talking points? Should we just go straight in?
I'm going to be honest. I haven't had time to rewatch it. I really wanted to today, but it kind of got away from me.
So thankfully for me, Najee, I
give you a
rocked up
pass.
to work at 8:30, and my boss, who's a Bears fan, said, "Jesus Christ, you've had a good night." So I finished at 12:30 and was able to watch the game back. But I think me and Lee might have a similar talking point because of the car journey back last night, Lee. So my first one
he's probably nicked my talking
is
point.
the CMC factor and Carl Shanahan's creativity, because we talked a lot about that in the preview show. And my other talking point, which I think Lee will have the same, was overcoming the loss of George Kittle. And it's more Lee's point than mine because of the conversation we had, Lee, on the journey on the way home. So I thought, I wanted to put those two out there, Gareth.
Have you got anything left, Lee? Was he just stolen all your thunder?
Yeah, well, he kind of has really. So, I mean, what my first talking point was going to be resilience. And the second one was, and it's going to be very controversial, this.
Ooh,
but I think the game turned on Kittle's injury. It turned in our favour.
I don't know. That's I mean, we can discuss about it. I'm not sure that's.
I
see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Talking point.
I see what you mean. Maybe
we can't discuss it too much though because my voice is going to go all together.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What a game.
If you've got nothing, actually, that's fine. We'll give you a pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about everything that needs to be talked about, and I've consumed so much Niners social media. The memes have been very fun.
You've not been glued on Oregon then? We'll gloss over that, shall we?
Gareth, it's a celebration show, buddy. Come on, man.
It's fine.
No, maybe there's a reason for my bitterness towards Najee, but
it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that for sure. No, if we want to talk about college football for like 2 seconds, I'm very happy that Indiana won. They're the best team in the country. They deserve to win, and they're a good team. For once, it's like new people and stuff. It's a really cool team and a really cool story. So I'm not too bitter about it. It's fine. I'm a little bit bitter. National championship would have been nice, but yeah. Well.
You kind of covered what I had really. I was talking about coaching, and I think we've probably not talked about that enough when it's good. We're happy to talk about it when we think it's not so good. And the other one is just total team performance. I think was the only way I can sum that up. I don't know if you guys weren't at the watch party. I was trying to get something in from Terry Bradshaw just before the game started. I don't know if you guys would have caught this. He said, sum it up in who's going to win in one word. And he's like 49 us. But there we are. Anyway, you had to be there, and I knew that you probably wouldn't. Where should we start then? Okay, Paul. Which one of you is actually able to speak at the moment? Let's start with Paul. And when you run out, you can, tag in Lee.
Well, we talked a lot on the preview show about CMC and Carl Shanahan's creativity. And as me and Nadji pointed out at the box last night, I think we all said we didn't want to see Carl Shanahan's box of tricks. And ironically, just before the trick play, Martin Hughes was talking to me about that night in Edinburgh and the trick play. We couldn't work out who had thrown the ball to who. And it was just absolutely fantastic to see in the biggest moments. And I was saying to Lee in the car journey, the year off the field that I've had, Gareth, Tracy had said to me yesterday morning, you haven't had a moment this year, Paul, with the 49ers. Over the years I've known you, there's always been a moment. And that game last night was, I would say, our moment. Nobody gave us
More to
a
come.
chance. There was a lot of dirty pointers. I'm not going to name names, but Nadji did threaten to name names. I'm hoping he
I
has.
will absolutely name
He,
names. I
he
will
is going to name
absolutely-
names.
But
Absolutely.
you look
gonna
at
name
Christian
names.
McCaffrey. We talked about establishing the run. Didn't really establish the run last night, but he showed yet again he's the heartbeat of this offense. And the way that Shanahan used him, and I've seen some stuff on social media today where we were using the jet sweeps a couple of plays before the touchdown to set it up, and the Eagles defenders didn't go with CMC. I think it was just 2 plays beforehand. You know, just probably our most attacking player on the field, left him wide open. But I did show Gareth the video, Nadji, of the celebrations where we all went crazy. Then the flag appeared, and then we went to go crazy again. So it was that good, Gareth. We got to celebrate it twice.
Yeah,
But
why not?
I just wanted to hear what the chaps thought about that, the CMC factor, and obviously Shanahan's creativity.
Lee,
Go on, Lee.
briefly.
Yeah, I am going to keep it quite brief. CMC, yeah, I thought he was excellent. I know there's a stat later on in the game saying that they shut him down basically, which to be fair, I think we had 75 yards on the ground. My voice is just terrible. 75 yards on the ground, so 75. I don't even think it was that, to be honest. So they did kind of shut the running game down, but he was still effective in the pass game. He was there as a decoy as well. Everything he did worried the Eagles, and I think having that one elite target was necessary to win the game, because obviously we didn't have anyone else. From, I think it was, what was it, the 4th drive when Kittle went down?
Yeah,
Something like
Start of
that,
the
yeah.
second quarter.
Second quarter.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, I mean, that was all of our stars, essentially our stars, gone. So he had to play his part, and he did what he had to do. And I thought it was excellent. And that pass from JJ to CMC, that was just absolutely perfect.
Well,
I'm going to
ironically,
stop talking
Nadji,
now because my voice is
the
going.
flag was for roughing the passer, which we didn't
was.
know at the time.
Yeah.
But just to back up what Lee said there, Gareth, before Nadji gives his thoughts, he led the team in rushing, Lee, CMC, 48 yards. He added only 66 yards through the air. But we've talked on the show about the eye test. He scored 2 touchdowns. He was there when we needed him to. And I think when we're talking about Kyle Shanahan's creativity, DeMarcus Robinson, second play of the game. Now, I know me and Nadji did a brief halftime show with Lee's new gadgets, and we talked about why didn't he just run in a straight line? And to be fair, Nadji, watching it back today, Cooper DeJean is on the outside. That's why he didn't run in a straight line.
Yeah.
But that start, Gareth, was just a million miles away from where we were against Seattle. And it just set the tone early on. And that's what we said we needed to do going into this game. We needed to quiet the field, and we needed Kyle to kind of come with his best game plan.
And I think he did. Nadji, do you want to add?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think ultimately that's what it boils down to. It wasn't a CMC game. It wasn't a Kittle game, obviously, due to the injury. It wasn't really a JJ game. It wasn't a Robinson game. It was a team game. Everybody played really well, and everybody showed up just at the right time when we needed it. You know, JJ got 1 catch for 45 yards, which is kind of, but it was a huge play, which put us in the best position to win this game. And then the Marcus Robinson with the sixth reception, and the CMC, yeah, he ran only for 66 yards. He had 6 reception too, and then Jack Tonjes had 1 big third down conversion, and I think everybody chipped in a little bit, and that's what you need. That's what you need to win football when you don't have your whole team and you're struggling to put any kind of offense together. The Eagles defense kind of had that number in the first half a little bit. We couldn't run the ball through a bad pick by Brock. I don't think Brock had his best game. But ultimately, it didn't matter because we just find a way to just move the ball and ended up with 360 yards of offense, which is pretty decent against a very good defense. And that's what we needed to win the game. We didn't need CMC to go for 200 yards. We just needed him to catch that one incredible pass, although a little bit underthrown by JJ in the end zone, and just to change the momentum, and then put the doubt on the Eagles. And we saw what that did. Like, we never wavered. They did. They started shouting at each other and dropping balls left, right, and center. So small margin, and this was maybe the best team win we've had in a long time, especially because of the stakes, and it's playoff football, and we're in Philadelphia, and George goes down, and all that kind of stuff happens. The resiliency, I think, is the word you used earlier, is incredible. If Kyle Shanahan doesn't win Coach of the Year, the award is a travesty. But yeah, it was just good to see everyone just showing up on the stat sheet or on the screen, and even Malik Turner, the name was mentioned, and maybe not in the best of way, but everybody was there. Everybody was there, and everybody contributed in one way or another, and that's what we're gonna need if we want to go all the way and win it all. So it's good to see. It's good that we can do it in that environment.
Do you know what's great about the 49ers this year? When Turner didn't catch that ball, Lee turned to me and went, "Who's that?" You look at the screen, you're like, 81. Just get me phone up. I'm not quite sure. And we've talked a lot about, the next man up, resiliency, as Lee said. But it isn't just a cliche in San Francisco. Najee just said there, next man up. George went off. Demarcus Robinson, 111 receiving yards. Touchdown. Brock Purdy, despite the picks, Najee, which I agree with you watching them back, it didn't get in his head. And it was strange that we still felt confident. I mean, at halftime, me and Najee gave a 5-minute breakdown, which is on YouTube, if you haven't seen it. And we felt confident before the game. Me and Najee stuck true to our predictions. We managed to get Lee to change his Gareth before the game. Lee listened to the crowd at the box and he was like, the Niners are going to win. And I know sometimes it comes across as bravado, but I honestly thought we were winning this game. And nothing that I saw, even through the laws, even Brock Purdy before halftime, the burnt timeout, as you said, Najee, you called it straight away, Najee. You said, that's coming back. And we were like, no, he's got out. And then the slow motion replay where he dropped the ball and we were like, oh, please don't let that. And then Lee was like, and they're getting the ball back in the second half. But even the 2 picks, Najee, I know you need a bit of luck in the NFL. They only put 6 points on us. And Philadelphia who? We said at the end of the watch party last night.
I thought CMC's performance all season, I mean, it summed it up. He gets not the volume of yards, but he gets the yards we need when we need them. And he has been relentless this season. He is not going to get it, but he should be up there with the MVP conversation. He almost, it's a shame he didn't quite get that double 1,000-yard seasons, because those are few and far between. But his importance to our offense when everybody else has been going down, his reliability, you don't usually get a bell cow back, someone that you can give that much workload to, is also a receiver and also has that explosive plays. They tend to be where you've got a running back pair or running back by committee. But I thought he's been phenomenal this season, even though people have said, oh, he's lost a step and we're not getting the running yards. I think the running yards aren't all on McCaffrey. I think the O-line has struggled to in the run game, but has pleasingly got back to pass protection against the Eagles. That's perhaps something else. But yeah, CMC was phenomenal. And that catch from JJ, that's a difficult catch coming over your shoulder, fully extended against the wind, which again, I think people can easily forget that when you just look at stats. You're talking about interceptions or completion percentage and all that sort of stuff. It was tough conditions for everybody. And Purdy was certainly much better than the quarterback on the other side of the field for what that counts for. But yeah, I thought McCaffrey had another stunning game. Yep. The Kittle injury turn, Lee, I think you're going to have to explain yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. So the first thing I would say is I was absolutely gutted when Kittle went down.
Yeah.
And yet again, another devastating injury for one of our top players. But I think when he went down, it galvanised the team. I mean, the team turned up to play anyway because they hate the Eagles, but that really galvanised the team. And you could see that in the sidelines. Everybody wanted to go out there and win this game for George Kittle. The next thing it did, it forced Kyle to go into his bag of tricks and mix up the offense, which he doesn't normally do when he's got more than one target. So had Kittle been there and CMC, or back in the good old days when we didn't have a diva at wide receiver and I used to play football rather than spend all of his time on Instagram, he would always go at the same people all the time. But we were down to CMC. There's no way he could do that. And it kind of forced them to change his offense. And I think that caught the Philadelphia Eagles off guard because they weren't prepared for that. They were expecting the ball going to Kittle and CMC all night long, and suddenly it's been sprayed all over the place. So I think, in a way, George Kittle going down did help our game plan because it meant the Eagles had to react and they didn't react quick enough. Luckily enough for us, we were playing the 2023 Eagles last night. We weren't playing the 2024 Eagles, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure
the reason I
Eagles fans
mentioned
taking it well.
the reason I mentioned the Kittle, because Lee said that on the car journey on the way home as well. Brian Bolginger shared an interesting stat that obviously when Kittle went out, the focus went more on the passing game than the run game, and our offensive line has been kind of, everyone's got an opinion. Out of 31 of his 32 dropbacks, Brock Purdy wasn't touched. And when I watched it back today, that was quite true. And normally Kittle's such a big element in that, the pass blocking game, the run blocking game. And like Najee said, those people that, had to step up. I mean, DeMarcus Robinson, bloody hell. I mean, that, as I said earlier, Gareth, that first drive, Brock Purdy said basically in the end zone, that's who he was looking for. And as you said, Najee, normally that wouldn't be his go-to target. And the fact that I think CMC touchdown, CMC said afterwards, he didn't think he was the first read on the second touchdown. And he was frightened that Brock was going to get sacked. And when he turned round, he was really impressed that Brock just seemed clean in the pocket, which, again, I just wanted to kind of touch upon because normally when Kittle goes out, that kind of part of our game suffers, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm not going to agree fully because I do think Kyle doesn't do changing his plan all that much just because of one player. I think he just sticks to his gun. He's got his plan. That's what he wants to do. That's why he wants to run the play. And Clint Kubiak is calling the plays anyway. So I'm not sure fundamentally everything changed. What I will say is the team wanted to win for George, and that does a lot for a team, especially. And we've done it all season, right? We've been fighting for the people on the sideline that can't be on the field, and it just kind of galvanized that a little bit more for this game specifically. Especially, apparently, they were singing goodbye to him on his way out of the card. Greatest fan in the world. Have a bit of decency, Eagles fans. Come on, right? I clapped Saquon when he stood up and walked out of the field. Just he's a good player. I don't want to see him injured. It's not cool. But yeah, I think that definitely helped. That put a bit of fire under everyone. Maybe even Luke Farrell and Jack Tongers and all that tight end room. That just kind of put a bit more of a shift just for George to make sure that that injury is in the end of his season and he can be with the team for another game and enjoy this. Hopefully, give him a ring because he deserves it. So yeah, I would say that I'm not sure the way we played offense has changed drastically because we lost George. It certainly makes things a lot more difficult, and we didn't waver, which was very impressive. We just kind of kept at it. CMC started getting some bigger runs. We started getting long drives, which tired that D line, and they just couldn't respond to it. So yeah, I I was so deflated. It's just like of all the players
Yeah,
that can
that's
get
what I
hurt,
thought.
why does it have to be the last the last legend that we have on our team? It's ridiculous, and it's not. It is a full Achilles tear, so he's gonna probably be gone for the whole season next year. it just sucks. It's just really not cool. Not George. Everyone but George. Anyway, we won.
I think what I meant, Najee, is I think you're right. He stuck to his game plan as such, but the fact that we saw Juice start to get a bit more receiving targets, where normally them two kind of go as a bit of a tandem, don't, especially in the run game. One will go out to block, and the other one will go away. And JJ, and again, having the confidence to call that trick play. I know we joked the boxing, or we didn't want to see Kyle go into his bag of tricks, but it needed a spark. And from that moment on, I mean, as you can tell, Gareth, by our voices, and I'm sure we're going to get onto the defense because, you know, there's been a lot of talk about this 49ers defense amongst our fan base this year, Gareth.
Well, I don't know that any of you mentioned it in your talking points, but I think on the whether I got it right or not, I thought that Tonjes and Farrell were on the field together a bit after Kittle went out, so I think there was probably an adjustment there. I think I know for sure that Juszczyk was on the sidelines for the JJ to CMC touchdown. So I think they had been mixing things up. I know he pops in and out, but I think they've been rotating the three of them a little bit more to try and fill the gap. But it's good to see that we can stick to a game plan when a player goes out, because before we've seen that if Kittle's not there, the tight end position may as well not exist in the pass game. But I think we've seen Shanahan back just stick to that, and he's got some players that he trusts there. Well, or it could be Kubiak as well. But I thought the overall, everyone on the offense, it really sums up. It's that team game. The offensive line I thought was excellent after a terrible showing against the Seahawks. Obviously, the Eagles' defense isn't bad, so I thought they did particularly well. Obviously, Trent Williams was back. That does make a huge difference. I think absolutely huge difference on that side. And I thought people can talk about the ins, but I thought Purdy put in another excellent gritty performance. I know you're overly critical, Najee, but you get it done when you need to get it done. And
the two picks are really bad. In a game that close away in a playoff game, you just can't do that. We got away with it.
It's not as though Joe Montana never ever did that.
Exactly.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying this is the kind of stuff that loses you a game.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't do that. They were bad picks. It's not like they were like the one last week against the Seahawks, where you throw it, Simpson's open, the ball bounces, it gets caught by somebody else. Bad luck. The second one was dreadful. There was 4 Eagles player and JJ. Like, just don't play hero ball. We got this, Brock. He's always done it. He's always going to do it. He's always done it. I'm fine with it. That's who he is. But I don't like that. I don't like those at all.
Well, it comes with part of that game, though.
It does.
Take Brock's best passes of the season. Half of those don't happen unless he's prepared to make those sort of throws. Sometimes they look fantastic. Other times you don't get it quite right.
Yeah, no,
and again,
no.
It's windy, and he's up against all pro secondaries. So
yeah, you got to take the risk with this move. I get it. But
I'm not as overly critical as Coach Kirar. So
yeah, I'm sure he'll be beating himself about him and watching the film and thinking, why the hell did I throw this? But
it doesn't faze him.
That is the very good point. He'll just go again, and it doesn't stop him from throwing the same route again if he has to. That's very true, which is a very good quality.
It looks simple, but the winning touchdown to CMC, I'm sure if you have been checking social media, you've seen that broken down. I've seen that broken down by a couple of talking heads, and everyone's saying, that is elite level quarterback play, even though it doesn't look like much.
Well, so that's the one. Me and Najee were stood next to each other watching that one. That's the one that was tipped by the defender, and the tip actually put it straight into CMC's hands.
Yeah, you got to be lucky.
It wasn't much of a deflection, but it was enough to get it square into CMC's hands.
But I think the elite decision making, where he stepped up, the play's broken down instead of running it in, he's still been able to kind of throw the ball. And I agree with Najee in a way. If we were going to say, yesterday, you're going to lose a turnover battle 2-0. I think all of us would have said you can't do that at this level. But the fact that it didn't matter, and again, they only scored 6 points off those two, and as all three of you chaps have said, it was a team game, and we've been crying out for this 49ers team to be good on all three phases, and that's what we're seeing. And we're seeing the football come together. And do you know what, Gareth? I quite like being the underdog. I quite like being the underdog.
And no expectations. All the pressure was on Philly, and they came out fairly undercooked, I think, and just didn't look like they really wanted it, which is surprising. It's surprising. Anyway, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Who was going to mention that?
I could
There you go.
go.
Start with that one then, Najee.
I called for it a
Westminster.
long time ago, I think. It might be like week 6, week 7, when he played a little bit and kind of disappeared. I think he's better than J.R. Brown, although J.R. Brown does have the flashy play here and there. I think J.R. Brown can be a playmaker. I just don't like him covering anyone. I think Michael Seagull's ceiling is probably a bit higher than Jair's is. Yeah, I'm all in on moving him to safety and keeping him there and letting him learn. Maybe not just yet because it's the playoffs and we don't really have time for learning. Although he's probably going to play a bunch because we've got so many injuries. Yeah, it's just that this defense. First of all, massive shout out to Eric Kendricks. I think he's won the Discord MVP. We ran it a bit late and people were already kind of gone, but it was pretty much a landslide, so I would imagine people would tend to agree with that. It's, he used to be very good, and maybe he just needed a little bit of time to get the sofa legs off of him and back into shape again, and is just shaping up at the right time. I thought he had an excellent game, but it just starts with Robert Saleh and the game plan, and just we make them pay for every yard it took, and it just showed towards the end of the game. They had no juice left. And we made them down and they started shouting at each other. And then I will say their OC is utterly garbage. And I don't think he's going to be an OC for very long.
Thankfully.
But yeah, what a performance with a team of linebackers that we didn't even have even a month ago, with rookie all over the place. CJ West impressed me again. Just with no pressure, letting them only score 19 points. It's crazy what he's able to do with this and with the way that defense play. Clearly not as good as it could be, and yeah, it doesn't matter. We keep game close. We keep teams close. We keep teams honest. They can't just get away from us, and it's just impressive. I don't know how he does it, but it's mightily impressive that he can.
I think to cover ourselves in glory, Gareth, I think we talked about coaching and resilience as our talking points. And as Najee said, Garrett Willow and Eric Kendricks. Come on, Najee, did you not know those two linebackers?
I know.
Looking at the list of linebackers we've got injured, but Wallow led the team with 11 tackles and a pass defended. Kendricks with 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and that pass breakup, which afterwards, Najee, he said he was cross with himself because he should have picked it off. And when he was speaking to the media after the game last night, Kendricks was saying basically he's rediscovered his love for football, coming to play for the Niners. There's no egos. He said, I'm playing special teams, which if you'd asked me 3 months ago, I wouldn't be playing special teams. And he said, and everybody's got the common goal. And you go back to that first run off Barkley, Gareth, where he hit the outside, 29 yards. And that'll be where Discord went up in arms. Everyone's thinking, oh, no. But after that, our run defense shut him down. I think CMC outran Barkley. And I think you said before, Najee, with the NFL, sometimes you've just got to watch the game plan play out. And sometimes they're going to get a big play on you, but then it's how you adjust and how you set up. And I mean, we kept this high-powered Eagles offense to 6 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna do that in the playoffs, Gareth. Good things are going to happen. And that final stop.
This is what you need. This is the complementary football that you need, because if you can keep your opponent's offense doing 3, 4, 5 plays, you're going to wear down your opponent's defense. You tip the balance of the game. I think the Eagles had longer time of possession than us, but I think we somehow seemed to be the ones finishing the game stronger, or at least sort of less worn down. And I think you could see the belief just fade away. I think the Eagles seem to think we're at home, we've rested our starters for a week. The Niners have got nothing left. We'll brush them aside. That seemed to be, the body language. And suddenly, when we're hanging around in the third quarter, they were like, "Oh, we didn't think we're actually going to have to earn this win. We're not sure we're actually up for that," and just didn't seem to have any particular answer on anywhere, any phase of the game.
I'd seen something on Twitter that said when they played the Bears in a similar weather as last night, they'd struggled, and it looks as if Salah's game plan was to put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands. Now, he was helped with a couple of drops. There was a couple of times me and Najee was stood next to each other thinking,
AJ Brown, MVP for me.
Not like that. But equally, this defense, and I mean, the atmosphere, we will touch upon the watch party, but when Kendricks batted that ball down, I think that cheer was just a little bit louder than CMC's, because there was no flags on this one, Gareth, so we were able to cheer loud and proud. And as much as our voices are bad, chaps, I don't know about you, but those bright lights off that cameraman's camera, Jesus.
Yeah, that was bright.
But the footage that the Niners got last night was pretty good, and we will touch upon that, Gareth.
Yeah, in that end, I thought that's it. It's over. Why Sirianni bothered to do his 2 timeouts when we knew we could do 4 victory formations? It's just like,
it's just going for the
waste
motions,
of
isn't it?
time.
Yeah,
No, but
well,
you do it if there's a chance you're going to get the ball back with 1 second. If there's not, why waste? Just let's let it go, man. But anyway, he's not one of my favourite coaches anyway. So
no,
Gareth,
little sympathy. Hello.
If Sirianni taking those 2 timeouts when we were doing the nail down at the end of the game has got you pissed off, it might piss you off more to know.
Just you wait.
It might piss you off more to know doing those nail downs lost you 2 prediction points.
Did it? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't know
Because
that.
you had the bonus. You had the
what
bonus
Gowland
until
was
we
saying.
started the nail downs.
Oh, there we go.
With certain
Maybe
point,
that's
Gareth,
it. I must
that's
know.
all
And the
I'm
missed
gonna
extra point, obviously, that cost me as well. So
Is a good start for you.
yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, all is not well with the Eagles, but yeah, I'm sure. They're
No, I
taking
mean,
it in a
there's-
very measured
Let's
way.
let's not just throw flowers in our way and think that we've got the best team in the world, because like they were terrible. They were absolutely dreadful.
Offensively, they've got
Their offense,
nothing.
I have no idea how they have
How
nothing
that team
with.
won the Super Bowl?
I mean, we've
How did
Kellen
they
Moore.
put 40 points on
With
Steve
Kellen Moore.
Spagnuolo?
I was going to say
That's-
sometimes you can
Yeah,
Kellen Moore,
it was
that's-
different
that's-
OC though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Different
Different
OC,
OC.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Different OC.
I've seen some
Um,
footage of Sirianni, Hurts, and the OC apparently giving him the last play call, and
Oh,
he's
yeah, I
looking
saw
all
that.
like,
What?
that's the play we're going to do.
Yeah, he's gone, 100%. But this doesn't happen if, as we said, like we don't have the defense that just hang around. That's all we ask them to do. And we've talked about this for a few years now. Like having a top 5 defense is great in the NFL. It wins you a lot of games. But having a top 5 offense and an average defense wins you way more games, especially during the regular season, but sometimes in a playoff. And that's what this was. It was just average defense. They just keep the game super close, and then the offense just comes alive when it needs to. I can remember a few years back how many games we let the Falcons hang around and the Browns hang around, and then you lose the game on a field goal, and that's what you got to do. Sometimes you just got to hang around and hope momentum turns and shifts. You kind of get a big play, and JJ throws a touchdown, and that's it. But it's just the coaching, the resilience it's incredible, and we just have to beat the Seahawks and the Rams, and we're good. It's going to be great.
So
The
before we move
It
on,
won't be the
Gareth, I was interested to get your thoughts on the defensive backs, because I thought they played quite well last night, particularly.
Ronaldo
on
Green
third
was really
down.
good. Yeah.
And there was a couple of instances where they were tracking the receiver and they were actually getting the head round. And I know that sounds
Mhm.
stupid, but as you said, Najee, a couple of years ago, how many penalties did we get because the defensive back didn't get his head round? And we were helped out by the Eagles offense. But I just think that Upton Stout just seems to get better and better each week, and he's probably getting a lot more playing time because of the injuries. And we have got the best team in the world, Nadji. I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
we
We're winning the
do.
Super Bowl. You're not seeing my videos.
I think it's not flashy, but I think Stout should have been in some sort of conversation for defensive rookie of the year. I genuinely think the amount of snaps he's played, the way he was victimized early on, and the way he is playing now, it's not going to be there because obviously he hasn't had a few pick sixes to go with it. But I challenge many teams to find a better rookie on the defensive side of the ball than this year.
So I think that's our Seahawks fan who you've just put up on the screen.
I know.
And to be fair, when we did our preview with the Seahawks game, he was quite respectful and he put a comment in saying that he'd come back for the live show after that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't do a show, but don't worry. We'll have one coming up very shortly that I'm sure you
Yeah,
want to tune in.
we will. Yeah, I mean, what a game. Should we talk about the important stuff?
No, we haven't got time for anything
Oh,
else.
look at that. Let's go.
Well, it's, me and Shani paying for the chess, you see. I made sure Shani put up my dirty points prediction in the locker room, and clearly that's what won it. And yeah, that probably does sound a bit insane, but it's no less insane than watch party curses. So maybe there's some truth to it. But I've put you under pressure now, Nadji, so you will be predicting first.
That's very true. Week. But all I have to do is do exactly what you did, and it should be good.
Well, it didn't work out too good for Gareth this week.
Didn't work out but I'll have another game if that.
Oh, but it only worked out because I've got another week to rectify it. So remember, exactly. I put myself in a no-lose position.
That is true.
I can still blow it and finish fourth.
For the people that have got bad eyesight or are listening to this, maybe when it comes out in a podcast later, I scored 6, Lee scored 3, Paul scored 2, Gareth scored 2. And the table is the Pod faithful has actually leaped us. Finally, they should be above us with the amount of brain power that they have over us. In the lead with 57 points, and I'm now second, technically first if we're just talking about us 4. 55, Gareth second, 53, Lee 48, and Paul 44. That Eddie Pinheiro kick though, that cost me 3 points. So just.
I think Lee was as happy about that, Nadji, as anything else that happened. And yes, he did have the spreadsheet open on his phone throughout the game, calculating the points, may I add, everyone.
I'll just say I was mistaken. I thought I'd gone with 20 points for the 49ers.
Or 20,
not 17. Yeah. So I would have had 2 points.
Yeah, gutted. Elliot missed one as well because they couldn't do in 21 anymore. Anyway, yeah, that 24 could have been turned into a 9. So anyway,
that extra point cost me. I had the Eagles.
Yeah, and as Lee said, two or three plays before the end of the game, you were actually on 5 points because the bonus 7 was there, and then we took the 4 knees, which took the average down. and lost.
And that's entirely Sirianni's fault. So in between Sirianni and Elliott, they've robbed me.
But yeah, I'm back in the lead. But there is one more game. I see a prediction
at least
down already.
Three more games. 3 more games. Not
3 more games. 3 more games. Sorry. One more at least. Is what I always mean.
And your plan is flawed, Nadji. You won't be able to copy Gareth because you go first now.
That's it. They see that's why.
No, that's what he did. That's what he did last week. He went for a loss because if we win, then there's another game to catch that back, etc. We'll see. We'll see if I can do that
this week, Cara. I'll be watching. It's only a
trophy.
trophy.
But let me go.
Dirty.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. So 49ers Simon. Brody Bedwell, Chris Wood. Chris, come on. I thought we were done with this. Come on, Chris.
He did put a tip in the tip jar for his 30 points, so I'm just running it across the bottom if anyone feels that way inclined. Cleanse the soul.
our very own Kev Williams, who made amends on the journey back from the watch party, and at the watch party he apologized. And then the McKinnons are they're just serial dirty pointers at this point. Stuart and Levi both dirty. Um, and then one more, which is Rob Allwell. Shame on you, people. Shame on you for not believing, and obviously shame on you, Gareth. Shame on you because you predicted.
No, tactical. It wasn't.
Yes, shame
I
on
was
you,
only
Gareth.
Shame on you,
on you.
Gareth.
tactically
Absolutely
dirty,
shame on you.
not morally dirty.
Not
And what
dirty
did
indeed.
did you actually change your prediction then just before the game?
Oh, I
Lee?
didn't change it on the
No,
sheet.
no, no.
Oh,
We
good,
did-
good.
We did
No.
like
I was going to say.
No,
we
No,
did
stay
live.
Say
dirty.
that would have been doubly dirty.
No,
Yeah,
we
that
wouldn't
was
have
just
done that.
tactical voting. Tactical
Hey.
voting. Tactical predicting.
He just did. We did like a bit of a preview show from the box because Lee had a fancy new gadget, and he said he was going with the Niners win on the night. But for those people tuning in who might not know what we've just been talking about, we have a score prediction league, and obviously, as I said, Gareth, whoever's got the spreadsheet for next season, just open it up now. Stick Niners win for me all the way down because it just keeps it easy. It saves the time. But Nadji was very, very happy announcing the last giveaway. Gareth, I wouldn't say he was very gracious when he said something on the mat. I'm only joking. You were very happy when you realised you're in the lead, Nadji, so it was good
Yeah,
to see.
I was indeed. We'll talk about that. That's something we should touch on actually. I think we allowed one penalty, which was
And it was a BS.
very soft.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest. One for 15 yards and that.
So, yeah, the unnecessary
attacking-
roughness.
That's
when,
yeah.
as
Apart
I think
from
everyone
that clean
said,
game.
what's defender supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Contact
clean
ball.
game. Apart from the 2 picks, Brock.
And
Come on, Brock,
it
don't-
has been clean, and for all the O-line struggles, you know, I don't miss that 10 yards holding McGlinchey that we used
I mean,
to
there's
see
still a
every
couple of
game.
things to tidy. That we took far too many timeouts because people weren't lined up at the right place and all that. But as I was saying on the night, if you have Malik Turner in the lineup, it's the kind of thing that's going to happen. The guy's just not played, so
Well, and
only fine.
it's crowd noise. It was windy. That also makes it difficult. And you know what? I'd rather pull the timeout out than just get caught for a misformation penalty when you score a touchdown. Because how bad is that? I don't know if you've seen the one where JJ is screaming at somebody on the other side because he's
that
got
was-
it.
that was-
Like,
that
you're
was
not
on.
lined. You're not lined up.
that was the
um,
Malik
it's-
Turner one,
Which is
yeah.
great because you've got
Main
another
point at the same
quarterback
time.
on the offense. So
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, touching upon penalties, Nadji, we have to say there was a lot of talk about the referee, and I know you don't like to talk about referees, about him being from
No, but
Pennsylvania, possible Eagles
Clean
fan.
game.
But as Lee said, he
Pretty
reffed
clean
that
game,
game
yeah.
last night. There was no kind of
there
controversial
were hardly any
calls.
penalties.
Yeah, I think we've come to the point where they just let people play a little bit and kind of like don't stop calling questionable pass interference and that kind of stuff. So it's good to see.
I would agree with Ty there. Bourne should know the playbook by
It wasn't
now.
Bond. It was Malik Turner. That was
Yeah, but I
the
just
lineup,
wonder,
right?
or if that's because of Turner, maybe having a simpler job. Bourne is doing one of the other receiver positions. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
but
speculating,
if Bourne
but
if
well,
Bourne
you've
bounced to
just
the
misheard
Y,
it.
yeah, but if Bourne bounced to the Y from the Z and it doesn't know the Z, it doesn't know the Y, very different playbooks. It's hard. There's so many plays.
It
It's
is.
hard.
It
It's
is.
very hard.
It was definitely Bourne that was wrong. It was 84.
No, there was Bourne and Turner together, and Turner should have been on the line, and he wasn't. And then
Yeah, he's a
from
player's
Big- from
player.
Big Dumb.
I know what you mean about the play call, and you listen to like kind of when you watch the videos that come out at the end of the season and all the different play calls and where they've got to be. But fine margins, that missed extra point from the Eagles from their first touchdown meant it was a 4-point game at the end, which meant they had to go for it. Lee getting giddy about us missing the extra point, as he said to me, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, Paul. They still need to go for a touchdown. But those last 2 minutes, and again, chaps, the poor staff at the box looking up at the screen, seeing 2 minutes and 27 seconds left. We had 2 timeouts. The Eagles had 3 timeouts. And Tracy even said to me, she
gonna
looked
be
at the
hard for
score
that,
on her
yeah.
phone. She looked at the time and she said, 2 minutes. That's about 40 minutes of the game left. I'm going to bed. So, that's the NFL for you.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's exciting. It was an exciting wild card weekend as well. I don't know if you did you catch any of the Bills Jags game?
Yeah,
we
we
watched
would.
it all.
I figured,
We
I
watched all of it.
you'd watch that.
Yeah,
I
it was pretty boring. I thought the Bills
really,
Jags game. Yeah, bit
I
boring.
don't know. It was close to the end. It was in the
Yeah,
balance. So
yeah.
Apart from the Chargers game last night, sorry, Najee, all the games have been quite close. And we were saying that in the box yesterday. Obviously, the NFL, the playoffs, every game had been close. And when they start showing stats like, how many fourth quarter lead changes had been when we're in the lead in the fourth quarter, that was funny because Lee was like, get that off the screen. I don't want to see that. And it was just the atmosphere last night, Gareth. I mean, I say the game was on. I didn't pay much attention to it, Najee, but I just kind of felt that
I watched it.
from
It
what
was a
I've
bit.
understood, it's come down to Josh Allen being slightly better than Trevor Lawrence. But that might
No,
be
no. It
more
was badly
slightly.
coached. It was badly coached. The Jags coach just messed that up big time, I think. But yeah, no,
Yeah, but
he is better than Trevor Lawrence.
inexperienced coaches. So, and
Yeah,
obviously Green Bay, Chicago. How many times can Chicago come back from nowhere? I mean, Green Bay fans must be feeling sick.
Well, they've had their numbers for a long time, so it's only fair to change it around for a bit.
I'll be all right.
One more game to go. Texans, Steelers.
Texans, please.
Yeah,
Let's just get rid of all the old guard. We don't need Rodgers in this, do we?
I won't be staying up for it.
No, I didn't
Catch
suggest
yourself
that
tomorrow morning, for
anybody
sure.
would. Yeah, there was a watch party according to Facebook. Oh look, there's even photo evidence.
Look at that. What a turnout. I've said it on the night to everybody that was there. If you're here, thank you so much for coming. It was such a blast.
So I'll
thanks for
just point out,
chatting.
I think there was only about 2/3 of us left when we took that photo.
Yeah. Sounds about right. We did it. We did this one at the very end, about 1 a.m. After the win. It was great. It was such a good night. New faces, new people that have been on Discord, and then they tell their name and like, oh, cool, it's coming, blah blah. Just a great time. And then, especially when you win such a big game, it makes the whole experience so much better. But yeah, it was great. There's just no else to say. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely fantastic night. And,
You were missed, Gareth. You were very much missed.
Yeah. And as you can tell from both mine and Paul's voices, we were quite vocal all night.
Yeah. So it was. I think there was a loud corner, the northeast corner, and and then
I don't know what you mean.
It was just good vibes. Some people just sat and watching. Some people chanting. Some people. It's good vibes.
I do just want to say, as much as it was an official watch party, Gareth, because it was officially sponsored by the Niners, they provided the media guys. Mohammed and his crew were amazing, by the way.
Yeah, they were cool.
They were uploading the footage to the Niners social media. But what was good last night, it was back to a 49er faithful UK meetup. So we met up at the Head of Steam about 2-3 o'clock. Obviously got to catch up with some faces, you said, Nancy. Then when we went to the box last night, I felt like I got to speak to a lot more people than I would have done at the London watch parties.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem to be as fast paced. And I think as well the fact that we welcomed everyone in. We did the giveaways at each quarter, but literally we stood and watched the game. And on the photo there under the screens, like you said, Nancy, you could be as involved, you could be in the loud corner, you could sit down. And like you said there, that photo's taken at 1 a.m. in the UK in January on a Sunday, and it's just been amazing. So thank you to everyone who turned out, like Najee said. And you were missed, Gareth. A lot of people did ask after you, buddy, on the night.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a bit. I curse the day 49ers Enterprises bought Leeds and not like Hereford United. So, but and that is tough. I know a lot of people would love to make it up to the watch parties, and we do try to encourage everybody to come along, but that's just, we want everybody to feel welcome and not feel like it's kind of like a clique, but fully understand that there's people a long way away, and it's a Sunday night, and it's money, and people have got, it's jobs, or it's childcare, or it's the school one, whatever it is that stops you coming along.
It's okay.
We're just trying to encourage people to turn up, but we fully understand that a lot of people would love to make it, but just simply can't.
I mean, you know, this was
save it for Sunday the 8th.
yeah. I mean, this was my
my
first in like 2 years, I think. So, you know, like
Yeah.
I've been
Really?
busy.
Wow.
They've just not been. I've not been to any of the London ones. I just couldn't make it. Just busy with work, of having a baby, or that, you know, that kind of stuff. Such is life. But you know, I was at this one. You'll be at the next one. It's all good. It doesn't matter if you can't make it. I mean, it does, but it's okay. Like we all have lives and better things to do sometimes. But it was great, and yeah, I'm really happy who won all the stuff that we had to give away. So the Fred Warner jersey, the Montana jersey, the football was so cool. I really want one of them.
Yeah.
They would look really nice. Like if I could put it somewhere around there.
Have you got a photo?
Did we take a picture?
I would imagine Wayne's got a photo.
I think
Well,
Wayne
there
will
we
have
go.
a photo.
Share it later if you don't have it.
Yeah,
now,
really
so.
cool. And then the beanie and the cap. I'm not a big fan, but
Yeah.
it's better than kicking a teeth, that's for sure. So and the signed picture of Marquez Goodwin, which is a nice little memorabilia as well. Yeah, it was just awesome. It was really cool. I hope I did a good job on the mic. I wasn't too, you know, I don't do that very often, despite working in the industry. But yeah, it was good.
So what I would say with the people who won, it was nice to see the genuine surprise on the face,
Yeah.
and the fact again with everybody who turned up. Everybody got a raffle ticket, Gareth. Everybody got a poster, but everybody was genuinely happy for who won. And when Georgina won the Montana jersey, as the
Yeah,
last
she was
prize draw,
ecstatic.
and her excitement, she was jumping up and down, and she's put a lovely post on about overcoming some of her anxieties about
Oh, I
coming. And
didn't
like
see
you
that.
said,
I'll have to read it.
Najee, we had the Discord, we had the virtual tailgate, we had the
Yeah.
watch party in London. So we do appreciate that. Some people see these in Leeds and think, oh, I'd love to come. But the pressure isn't, you don't have to come. And the dream's always been, Najee, if you can arrange a local one in your local
Yeah.
area, like what Gary did yesterday down Leeds, let us know and we'll promote it. I mean, I'd hazard a guess Gary and the handful of people who turned up at the Belushi's in London Bridge had just as good a time as what we did. And they've got those stories. And it's just, watching football together, Moore, who came from the Niners, he came to me at the start of the night and said he doesn't support the Niners. He supports another NFL team. I won't shame him. But by the end of the night, you wouldn't have known. He was jumping up and down with us. He was fully invested. And
Yeah.
the atmosphere was just
there we go.
unreal.
Yeah. We'll take all comers, won't we? So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, previous poor life choices can be forgotten if you see the error of your ways and want to come to the 49er Faithful UK. So speaking of which, we know we'll be playing Saturday night, but we don't know when. So there may be another event if we are the early game.
So yeah, I would say that it's guaranteed there's going to be another event. However, I'm going to caveat that there'll be a watch party if we're kicking off at 9:30. If we're the 9:30 kick-off, there'll be an official watch party. If we're not the 9:30 kick-off and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I think there's still a group of us who are going to gather at Victoria Casino in Leeds to watch the game together. But that won't be a watch party because we've got no relationship with Victoria Casino. The time frame we've got, it'll be difficult to actually arrange that and try and get that sorted for the group. So you're laughing because my voice is just going completely.
Well, we're an hour in, so I think almost anything else is now looking ahead to the next game, where I'm sure you've seen Shani's post-game conference, post-game talk to the team in the locker room, where he says, "Thank you for getting the opportunity to have another one," which clearly is another game, but also I think there's a lot of people on that team who are very, very excited about facing the Seahawks again. And I would imagine the Seahawks are possibly less excited about having to face us again.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
I think they would have probably fancied their chances against the Eagles.
How many people are going to put 13 points down for Seattle's points total in the prediction league this time? Just let's hope we score at least 14 or more. They're only scoring 13.
No idea, Richard. No idea.
Just before you finish off,
there'll be a post.
I don't know if the Victoria Gate Casino, there's some issues with the license, because they used to have the Super Bowl party And I'm sure I've
Right.
seen on other forums that they're not hosting a Super Bowl party. So you may need to move to a different venue.
All right.
Yeah,
If
but
it's 1 a.m.
it
game.
might just be that they're not making the money for it, or new manager doesn't fancy that sort of thing. So,
Of course.
oh yeah, the Fred,
Of course we saw
I'd have
it.
been playing last week if it was up to him, but it's not.
Yeah, I think he would play. He would play if he could. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Yeah, we'll do a preview, I'm sure. But
We
Winters
will.
will be back. Ricky Pestle will be back. It'll be a different game for sure. I did say it. Gives us a chance to go and beat them in their house. Well, how much better would that be? Now loss is just gonna feel so much better when we destroy them in their house and eliminate them for the playoff. Can't wait.
Is there
Yeah,
anything
exciting
else
time.
before we finish off, Gareth?
No, wrap away, Paul. I think your voices can't take any more anyway. So,
So, no, do all that
Maggie's
good
looking
stuff.
too smug for me. So
Yeah.
I've had enough.
To be honest, before I do the whole like and subscribe, it is interesting that you mentioned it was your first one in a while, Nadji, because it just felt like we'd been talking football like yesterday. And we've had a lot of positive feedback, Gareth, from across the pond, seeing the footage and the fact that it was on the Niners website. So do keep an eye on social media. If you were at the watch party last night, do tag the box, because a big shout out to their staff.
Yeah, they were amazing.
We will be back later in the week to look ahead to the divisional round. Be interesting to see how many of you out there go on dirty pointers. But this has been a blast as always. We do need to let me and Lee let our voices rest.
Yeah, definitely.
All,
Get some tea, get some honey. Come on, guys. Listen to this.
well, what did you say at the start of the show, Nadji?
Smart and clever. Smart and clever.
Get that on a t-shirt, Jamie. Get that on a t-shirt.
As well as the sponsorship from Fireball, we should be sponsored by something like Lockets, because on watch parties, I've always bring those now because I know I'm going to need them.
Yeah.
Well, you
Vocals on.
mentioned Fireball.
Vocals on is the way to go.
Davey Thompson had a game with jelly beans, and you had to flip the
Oh, yeah.
arrow.
Dakota one.
And I picked a flavour, and I was just about to say cinnamon, and Martin Hughes pointed out Fireball. And I said, that's the closest you'll ever get to me having another Fireball, Martin Hughes. But all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
We love the San Francisco 49ers deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, deep Clark. Garrison Hurst, stiff farm going 99. Don't get it twisted, one and all with prime time. John Taylor, Jerry Rice down the